Oi!
Oh, what? Is it over?
Yeah, the movie's over, man. You got back
How
to...
did we get back in the car?
I think I had to hire the small children who attended the movie to carry you, and I paid them in Oreos.
I was gonna eat those.
Oh, come on, dude. Alright. We saw the Lego movie.
Did you really give away my Oreos?
No, you had like 3 of them in the movie theater. Because they way overcharged for candy at the movie theater. So, yeah, we saw the Lego movie. I had a gift card that would essentially pay for 2 adult tickets, and I wanted to see the Lego movie. I dragged Mr. Big Guy over here.
But I want my
to
Oreos.
See the movie. You can be yourself, dude. You don't have to be in character. So, he was not overly thrilled on the concept of seeing this movie, but free movie, it was his day off. He certainly wasn't going to turn down that offer.
Yay.
And
I wanted to go on record. Only reason I went to see this monstrosity, Liam Neeson.
Who was quite good in this movie. I mean, he got to play the good cop, bad cop, and the good cop was just his head turned around. And he voiced the good cop, which I was really surprised, because it didn't sound like him at all. It sounded like Liam Neeson a little bit, but I guess you could describe it as Liam Neeson reading a children's book in like a really soft, child-friendly, light voice. But
we are talking about Liam Neeson, right?
Well, that was the good cop. The bad cop was, of course, doing all the blasting people and
taking
chairs.
Unknown.
The chair. He literally brought a chair with him in his car.
Threw the chair. Every time something went wrong, he would throw a chair. When he was flying his police jet fighter thing,
they're Legos, so the car turned into a jet fighter. Of course.
And when the good guys got away, he threw the pilot seat out of the jet.
Just so he could kick it around in anger because he's a bad cop. But I was really looking...
Who became good guy?
Who did become...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. This is all... Spoilers all up in this car. But, yeah, it was a good movie. There were a lot of kids at the showing. We did not see it in 3D, but it's an animated movie, so of course those usually come out at pretty good in 3D. But, jacked up ticket prices. You didn't like this movie, did you?
I liked Liam Neeson. I fell asleep through everything else.
No, you did not. You were keeping track. You had like 6 times you predicted exactly where this movie was going. And to your credit, some of them I didn't see coming, but I was way more into the experience than you were. I liked this movie. It was a lot of fun.
Really? And every time I closed my eyes, all I heard was your giggling voice.
Yeah, I was, I did have to hold it in a little there.
Considering the amount of violent mangas you review, you're just a big child on the inside.
I really, but that's what makes me me. It makes me the special. Oh boy, I was really.
You just referenced that movie.
I was getting tired of the whole special thing. Okay, so there's this construction worker named Emmett. He lives in this utopia world of cities, and every day he gets up and he follows the word-for-word instructions on how to start your day, which include exercises, listening to one pop song played over and over and over again for the whole 10-hour workday, and ordering expensive coffee from Starbucks.
$32 for a cup of coffee. That is where you take the cup, hand them the money, throw it in their face, and take your money back.
But he was totally into it. He's like, awesome, yeah, it's expensive coffee, I'm fitting in. So he's
$2 for a cup of coffee. This is why I don't drink coffee.
So he's completely normal, except for the fact that he has no friends, which according to the instructions he should have, because he's following the instructions. And he finds a special magical piece, which labels him as the special, as prophesized by Morgan Freeman as God Dumbledore Gandorf.
He's the Lego wizard who prophesized everything, blah, blah, blah. It's Morgan Freeman!
And the prophecy was true because it rhymes.
You bring that up again, I shoot you for real.
Okay, that was the first line of the movie that got a chuckle from you. Which was pretty early on in the film, actually. It's like he goes into all, like, he's a blind sage, and he goes into his prediction mode with his eyes glowing.
With face of yellow. It's a Lego movie, they're all yellow! Batman was yellow!
Actually, Morgan Freeman was brown. The Morgan Freeman Lego guy was brown.
Yeah.
And I think Batman was actually, normal skin color. And then, of course, there was the stupid rainbow kitty unicorn.
Never mention it again.
They travel through a whole bunch of Lego biomes, and there's more of the biomes that are mentioned than they visit.
There's the main Utopia, Brick, Tropolis, nobody cares.
Yeah,
Middle
downtown
Zealand,
Legos.
the Old West, Cloud Cuckoo Land, which is a rip-off of Banjo-Tooie. Look it up. It is the name of the level.
But, yeah, so they go to Cloud Kitty Land, where all the builders, the master builders are, which are essentially all, like, the named Lego pieces. Batman, Superman, Darth Vader. They didn't have Darth Vader, but they did have Han Solo. So
they ripped off Star Wars,
So
too.
all the master builders are people who don't follow the instructions, and they're all partying.
Look up the full cast list. I guarantee that was Billy D. Williams doing Lando Calrissian.
Ooh, it might have been. Yeah, it did sound a lot like him, yeah. And, and I think they might have gotten the original C-3PO, too. It was just a quick cameo, and they didn't have Harrison Ford but they had a pretty good Han Solo impersonator.
It's not Harrison Ford.
It wasn't Harrison Ford. So
basically, Star Wars shows up for like 2 minutes. Batman bails on the good guys, saying, I'm out.
And then
goes onto the Millennium Falcon just to steal their hyperdrive.
And he comes back like 10 seconds later, just in time for Emmett to try and get it on with Batman's girlfriend. I don't even remember.
By the way, Batman has a girlfriend. Another spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah, you didn't like what they did with Batman.
No, that is not Batman. That was somebody trying to be Batman, and when I find that person, I murder them.
To be fair, it was Lego Batman, so it loses...
It's not Batman.
Yeah, it wasn't really Batman.
Batman is not happy, child-friendly.
In all honesty, I felt that it was actually a pretty good parody of how dark and gritty Batman has gotten. Batman will always be dark, but it's gotten really gritty, and there's not a lot of sense of fun to the recent Batman movies, so they were kind of spoofing that. But at the same time, yeah, it's Batman. It is rough to see him not be the cool guy. He wasn't the cool guy. He was always trying to be the cool guy, and sometimes he was.
He was a complete a-hole. He was stealing the main character's ideas.
He showed up when they were being chased down in Old West World and catches them in his bat plane, and they fly off into the sun, which Emmett, of course, objects to because it's the sun, and Batman says,
"We're flying into the sun? Yeah, but it's gonna be awesome." And
he slams right through the sun, and it leaves a bat symbol hole in the sun, which is pretty cool.
Because reasons!
Yeah, in all honesty, it's an animated movie, but they worked damn hard to get the effect of essentially those old Lego movies that people used to make when, like in the early 2000s when Lego Movie was a thing they just came out with, and people would make their own stop motion animated things. They worked really hard to get that effect down. Like, stuff just moves all over the place. In all honesty, when the master builders are moving really fast to construct their stuff, They just flat out teleport around. Like, the movie makes no bones about the fact that they can't move this fast, so they just do. Oh, and there was a random 80s space guy who was absolutely obsessed with making a rocket ship. Spaceship! Rocket ship! Rocket ship! Rocket ship! Rocket ship! His joy was infectious, but in all honesty, yeah, his sense of annoyance was not unjustified either. But no, the absolute worst offender, and I think they were aware of the fact that this character would get on people's nerves, was the Unicorn Kitty from Cuckoo Land. It was all bright, shiny colors and a dog fortress, and it was, oh man, it was really
You hid my gun, didn't you?
You didn't bring it. I hid it before you got in the car, duh. I've got self-preservation instincts. But
do not mention that thing again.
No, I have to make this clear to the audience. Unicorn Kitty is annoying. The movie is aware of it and doesn't give the character a lot of screen time, but she is part of the main cast of people who save the day. Although she does do that kind of thing that Bubbles would do right at the end in Powerpuff Girls, where Bubbles would absolutely freak out and lose her sense of idyllic happiness and just start kicking ass all over the place. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
Is it safe?
It's safe. I'm done talking about the Unicorn Kitty. Because you really didn't like this movie.
I like the parts where Liam Neeson was
involved.
Yeah.
But come on, there were other parts that made... Morgan Freeman had some really good lines. There's some...
Morgan Freeman was kind of a jackass to the main character.
Yeah. And there's, of course...
You have the most powerful imagination. main character does something that's not impressive. Your imagination is horrible.
Yeah, Emmett is, of course, a completely normal guy, and he's never really had to create anything before. The first thing that he's like, we need you to create something, anything, whatever you want. How about a double-decker couch?
It's basically a bunk bed that's a couch.
Yeah, so all your friends can watch TV at the same time. And in all honesty, it doesn't sound like a bad idea, but later Will Ferrell is like, how does that even... So, like, the people on top have to climb over people to get up there, and then the people on the lower end have the feet dangling in front of them. He raised some really good points about why it's a stupid idea, and
Which is probably the smartest thing Will Ferrell has ever done.
Will Ferrell's okay in this movie. He mostly plays it up straight, and all the humor comes from the writing and not him hamming it up and trying too hard to be funny. So if you're a Will Ferrell hater, yeah, Will Ferrell hater. It's not his most annoying role, and in all honesty, if you are ambivalent about him, that's the right word? Ignorance, apathy, if you're ambivalent about Will Ferrell, he's fine. He doesn't get in the way. He's got some good lines, mostly because as the main leader of the world, he's collected artifacts from the human world, and he's got, like, crazy glue, rubber bands, old floppy disks, an X-Acto knife, a Band-Aid.
Yeah, the Band-Aid was some ancient relic that when you put it on someone, it hurts when you try to remove it. He used it to intimidate Liam Neeson. First off,
what's great
I want it to go on record. You cannot intimidate Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson looks at you, and you become intimidated.
But it was funny because he kept mispronouncing what things were. The Bandaid, or he had an X-Acto knife, and he's like, someone bring me the sword of exact zero. And his plan is to use crazy glue,
which is called the Craggle.
Because the crazy glue bottle has some of the letters scratched off, which was... Oh, and then they have the release the Craggle line, which even I groaned at. I'm like, oh, come on.
Mostly because when he said that, a bunch of...
tentacle things came down.
A bunch of tentacle squid-like arms came out of his ship and started spraying the crazy glue on people.
Yeah, the crazy glue, he's really obsessed
They just went into that area.
Yeah, well, yeah, but see, that's only something us anime nerds are gonna really...
I don't even like noticing that.
No, I didn't even notice that until you brought it up, man. Come on, dude.
I just ruined the movie for you.
Yeah, that makes that... Oh, God, you just ruined...
My work here is done. Good night, everybody.
But, so, yeah, he uses the crazy glue to freeze the citizens, and there's a lot of them from all the different worlds in place, so that they are exactly as they should be, and everything is perfect. And it's actually kind of terrifying, like, because the people aren't dead, they just can't move, ever. Although it is possible for people to die, as Morgan Freeman proved when he got his head chopped off by a penny.
Yeah, but he came back as a ghost because Morgan Freeman...
On a string! It's like they didn't even try and hide the string. He's just like, they put a glow-in-the-dark ghost...
Right here. There's the string. You could see the string.
They put a glow-in-the-dark ghost costume over his, like, body shape, and then just kind of held him with a string and waved him near the hero so he could give some inspiring speech at the last minute about how he made the prophecy up. So just go ahead and believe that you're special, because anyone could have been the special, so why not you? It makes a lot more sense in the movie, and in all honesty, the message of the movie is pretty good. Everyone's special if they try to be special. It isn't everyone is special, end of story. Everyone gets a trophy because you participate. In fact, they even bring that up. Will Ferrell's like, no one gave me a trophy and told me I was special. God, I hated those things. I was in Little League. I did Little League for 3 years. And even at, like, the age of 10,
I finished Little League right as that stuff started, so I never had to go through it.
Oh, God. I right at the age of 10, even at the age of 10, they give me a trophy. We didn't win anything. Like, okay, we won, like, half of our games. It's like, here's a trophy. Everyone on the team gets one. And I was like, what the hell are we getting a trophy for? You played the game. And I was like, so did everyone else. How does this trophy mean anything? It doesn't mean anything.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. We're talking about the movie, not reliving your childhood tragedies.
We are talking. So everyone is special when they try to be special. If you don't try and be special, then you're normal. And you won't amount to anything. Oh, man, that's pretty rough on the people who don't try. But it's definitely better than everyone is special bar none, including the average, because there have to be average people, otherwise that word is meaningless. Let's see what else. There was the love interest. Every time in the beginning when she showed up, she would shake her head and her hair would rotate on her head like she was waving her hair through the wind.
Yep, we had to sit through that.
Like twice. It wasn't as funny the second time. It was pretty funny the first time, though.
For you, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, and the reason Emmett gets labeled as the special is because the cap to the crazy glue bottle gets stuck to his back.
Which is the special piece.
That is needed to
piece.
Close off the craggle.
We both called that one, so...
Yeah, I spotted it. I was like, that's not a Lego piece on his back. What is that? And I'm like, oh my god, it's a cap to a crazy glue bottle! It also made me wonder, why won't it come off his back? Like...
Because crazy
yeah,
glue.
it crazy glued onto his back, but
It's called crazy glue because it drives Lego people insane.
One thing I did notice, this movie really didn't take any downtime. Like, there wasn't really any time to breathe until, like, the third act. Like, they didn't
someone like you who's giggling the entire time, no, I suppose there wouldn't be.
There weren't really any, like... But even, like, okay, there weren't any... Okay, it wasn't as funny to do, but there weren't really a lot of slow moments, either. Nope. It really didn't slow down much, so...
A lot of disappointing moments, like when a certain... hybrid creature that is overwhelmingly cheery
shows up and doesn't go away for the rest of the movie. There is a pirate introduced at about the same time who got his entire body ripped apart, so his head and his organs, which was actually probably the darkest part of the movie.
Long story short, he's basically a transformer who can't transform. He's
a giant
robot form, and his pirate ship is his body.
Pirate ship became his body, and now he has a bigger pirate ship for some reason.
He is Metalbeard.
Clink, clink, clink. Oh, and he does transform. He transforms into a photocopier, which some of the evil minions then proceed to sit on and photocopy their butts. In
which case, he comes out of photocopier mode.
And blows them up.
And says, you broke the number one rule of the high seas. Never put your rear end on a pirate's face.
Ugh, yeah, that was weird.
Because pirates have rules.
Oh, and there was that great moment where Space Joe is trying to talk to the computer. And it's essentially spoofing Siri. He's giving it voice commands, and it's completely misunderstanding what he's saying. No!
I need you to deactivate the shield generators.
Searching for movies in your area. I was like, why would this fortress computer even have that function? And
even evil overlords need downtime to see a movie.
And 80s space guy, of course, just cannot get this thing to work. So in comes Metalbeard with his thick pirate accent. Ask for them
Would you be shutting down the shield generators, Lots?
Shutting off the shields now. Space Joe is... What? What are you doing? But, so, right up until now, we weren't really spoiling the big reveal ending, but if you want to go away now, we're going to spoil the ending right now.
The good guys don't win this time.
Didn't they? Kind of. Everyone became a good guy. It was one of those weird cop-out.
You ever play Super Smash Brothers? Remember Master Hand?
Hi.
Yeah, so they pull that.
It turns out the whole world...
The man upstairs is actually the child and his dad playing with the Legos.
Yeah, and his dad is played by Will Ferrell, who is, of course, the voice of the bad guy. He's playing it straight, man. He wasn't being annoying. He's just playing it straight. He's a normal...
Will Ferrell.
Oh, God, dude. You need to let that go.
I'm sorry. All of his movies, okay, not all, most have sucked.
Okay, but so it's revealed that it's all the different sectors, all the different areas, are this ridiculously elaborate Lego set that the father Will Ferrell has built and put together over... It's gotta be here. It's model train levels of obsessive. Like, it's almost worrying that this guy
Mr. Rogers...
Yeah, it's almost worrying that this guy has made all this. And the reason all this stuff with the heroes and the master builders and the crazy glue is happening is because his son is playing with the toys, which is why everything's getting all mixed up and jumbled. And then he comes in, Will Ferrell shows up, and he's like, you moved, there's a dragon on top of a building. Why is there a dragon on top of a building? So he starts he has a drawer full of crazy glue that he starts crazy gluing everything into place. And of course, this materializes as the world is getting captured by these micromanager robots. It's just the way the world visualizes them being moved around by the hand of God. And then getting squirted with the crazy glue contraption and being held in place. And it essentially just comes down to his son convincing him that there is creativity and joy to be found in not following the rules. And
Which translates into the Lego world of the good guy saying, hey,
we can make whatever the hell we want.
You don't have to be the bad guy. Join me. Join the light side.
But,
I don't know why I like the light side. Dark side's funner.
Darkseid does have better parties. Bowser probably has amazing parties, but Mario and Peach, they just have cake. Who wants cake?
The dark side has cookies.
Yeah, the dark side has cookies and slaves.
Vodka.
You know, the dark side parties are the best parties because dark side parties don't end. But
until someone dies and they're like, oh well, he was fun. Back to the party.
But so it was surprisingly poignant. Okay, it wasn't saying much about the human condition, but it surprisingly had a lot to say about Legos. Like, the Lego movie, it's not just like Lego Star Wars, the video game, where it doesn't have to be Legos. It's just the aesthetic they went with. No, this movie was literally about Legos. And on the flip side, they even have a moment where Emmett's like, okay, you guys, all the master builders built a submarine, but they all built different pieces of it at the same time in their own unique way. Batman, of course, is like, I only use black pieces, and sometimes really dark gray pieces. And of course, the hybrid creature of rainbows makes a cat face for the front of the submarine, which is stupid. And 80s Space Guy, of course, tries to make it into more of a rocket shape, and they dive into the ocean, and then it starts leaking. And they all get saved by the double-decker couch, which had, like, coolers. Like
under the cushions.
Yeah, under the cushions, which is not a bad idea, but...
Not bad if it's still football season, but it's not.
No, it's not football season anymore. But, so, Emmett makes the very excellent point that the instructions are useful if you want to make really amazing things. Like, I had Legos. Did you have Legos as a kid? Yeah, it was fun to make your own things, and those are the things I really remember, but it was never as good as the stuff you could make with the instructions. Like, the instructions were your keys to making the Millennium Falcon, which was awesome, and you couldn't make that by yourself. You could try, but it would never come out looking right. Same thing with Minecraft. You know, if you try and... The best way to make stuff on Minecraft is actually to follow, like, a step-by-step plan. Like, that's why people keep making 8-bit models of, like, Mega Man and Mario, because it's pixels, which is really easy for Minecraft. Oh, and the pre-credit, the pre-preview commercials for this movie were weird. There was, of course, really distressing things about what Cartoon Network has been up to. I thought they were on the right track, man. They brought back Toonami. I thought they were doing better.
Nope.
No. I'm not even gonna list its name. It's bad. Like,
You'll hear of it eventually. The great evil comes!
I almost started drooling. Like, my mouth was open and just like, what the hell am I looking at? I almost started drooling. It was really bad. But
they did have an amazing Coca-Cola commercial.
They did the whole zero-G thing, and of course, liquids in zero gravity look amazing. It was actually an Olympics...
Trailer for The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Trailer for The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which he was excited about. There were a lot of kids' movies being advertised. And there was one about that Morgan Freeman narrates about the lemurs of Madagascar, like the real ones, not the movie lemurs of Madagascar.
Not like those animated Madagascar movies.
No. Real ones.
This is real life.
It's a nature documentary as narrated by God, otherwise known as Morgan Freeman. Other than that, I don't really remember.
Morgan Freeman, starring in The Narrator.
I don't really remember much of the other previews. There was the Muppet movie sequel, which I enjoyed, but, you know, if you're not a fan of Muppets, that doesn't do anything for you. And it didn't look like it was going to be, like, Golden Age Muppets. It really felt much more like Silver Age Muppets, which is what we're currently in. I think
When do we get to the age of where Muppets stop existing?
probably when they don't find anyone who can do a good Kermit voice. Apparently, they have official Kermit people for
Next goal
different
after
nations.
I take over the show: find everybody who can do Kermit voice and detain them.
Detain them. I think there was another preview for a kids movie before the Muppet one, but I can't remember what it was now. Must not have left much of an impression on me.
Yeah, I tried to sleep through the previews.
Yeah, you kept putting your hat over your eyes because you just had no interest whatsoever. Oh, and if you do see the Lego Movie, that song that they play on repeat, it's bad, but boy is it catchy. So just be ready to have that earworm in your head. It's best to replace it with something awesome like Samurai Jack theme. Is that what we used?
Epic rap battles of history!
That's not really a song, dude.
No, but it's something to watch to get stuck in your head to replace the previous thing stuck in your head.
So, are we forgetting anything? I think we pretty much covered all the memorable points of this little dalliance of ours.
We forgot one part.
Yeah? Yeah. Don't forget, I have to drive us back. Alright, well, thank you for joining us. This will not be a regular feature because movies are expensive. Thank you for watching.